Chapter 3, Mishnah 8. This Mishnah states the deductions that a shomer may make from wine and oil. With regard to wine, a shomer deducts a sixth because this proportion is absorbed by the sides of the clay container. But Rabbi Yehuda says that a fifth is deducted. The Mishnah discusses oil. A shomer deducts 3 logs of oil for every 100 logs, 3%. Of these 3 logs, 1.5 logs are deducted because of the sediment that settled. The oil received by the shomer presumably contained 1.5 logs of sediment, which then settled at the bottom of the container. Therefore, when he returns the oil, which is now pure, he may deduct 1.5 logs. And the other 1.5 logs are deducted because of the absorption of oil into the sides of the container. Thus, the total deduction is 3 logs. These deductions may not be made in the following cases. If the oil was pure and free of sediment when it was given to the shomer, he may not deduct the 1.5 logs for sediment. If the containers in which the oil was stored were old, he may not deduct the 1.5 logs for absorption because they have already absorbed as much as they can. The following Tana holds that the deduction for sediment may be made not only by a shomer of oil, but also by a seller of oil. Rabbi Yehuda says this deduction may be made even where someone sold his fellow pure oil for the entire year, and it was agreed that the seller would keep the oil with him and deliver it to the buyer in portions over the course of the year. The oil contained sediment at the time of the sale, but the sediment settled by the time the oil was delivered. It is understood that this buyer accepts a deduction of 1.5 logs for every 100 logs, 1.5%, to account for the sediment. Since sediment was present in the oil at the time of the sale, the amount specified in the sale refers to an amount that contains sediment. The buyer knows that 100 logs of oil with sediment will become 98.5 logs once the settlement settles. He therefore agrees that if the oil is delivered pure, he will receive only 98.5 logs.